And away we go. It is the Aftermath, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken right here on BearcatJournal.com. Go see our good friends at Galactic Fried Chicken. They're located in Dayton, Kentucky, just down the street from Newport on the Levee. So it's close. It's not far. They will get you taken care of. They have the best fried chicken in the city, amazing chicken tenders, and great sides. And, of course, the Galactic sauce, the best sauce on the planet. It is outstanding. So go see our good friends at Galactic. Tell Shane the Bearcat Journal sent you. All right, Aaron, that one's over. I did not make it the whole night at the Holy Grail. It is already, well, the good news is, Aaron, I have good news. It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
If I could turn back time.
The intention was to get home and get this puppy started as quick as possible. I did not want to start it a half hour from now. And after the punt return for a touchdown, I decided it was time for me to head for the hills of Northern Kentucky. So Cincinnati loses 45-14 to Utah. They got dominated. They played poorly. If you made a checklist of all the things that you can't do if you wanted to beat Utah, they pretty much did the most of them. They checked all the boxes. It was a rough day for Brendan Sorsby. It was a rough day for the game plan. I'll get into that as we go along. I cannot in any way, shape, or form understand why Tyree Walker got 7 carries for 67 yards. The Bearcats rushed it 30 times. I know some of those were towards the end, but I was dumbfounded by that. There wasn't a whole lot positive to take from this game. I think there were a couple things that Cincinnati did well. For the most part, though, it was a crap performance. And when you play like crap against a good team on the road, you get your ass kicked. And they got their ass kicked. And I will turn it over to you.
There was no phase of the game I thought tonight that played well. Offensively, I did not really see a ton that was – you ran the ball well. But even going back to –
You were never in a position to run it a lot.
No. And even going back to the first series, I thought running at Zion Johnson out there was a surprise. And then
I don't understand it.
And then you don't see him again the rest of the game. We did this against Nebraska, though, right? Where you just running everybody out there to see who's going to get the hot hand, and then you had the hot hand and you just didn't play him. I don't understand.
I mean, Aaron, objectively though, Tyree 9.6 a carry, Manny Covey 9.4 a carry, Zion Johnson 7 a carry, Sorsby 7 a carry. Chance Williams didn't do well at the very end when they put him in, but the guys that ran the ball, like if one thing I thought the O-line did well in run blocking. I didn't think they were terrible in pass blocking, but they didn't have the best day. But yeah, I don't understand the Tyree thing. I don't understand it at all.
It was strange. But defensively, you missed a lot of tackles in this one.
You can't miss tackles against Utah. You can't.
A lot of guys going for, it seemed like they were going for the big hit as opposed to, or the punch out as opposed to actually just tackling a guy. Although I thought the defensive backs actually played pretty well, all things considered. You got away with
the safeties for a while.
You got away with a lot of handsy stuff, but they weren't calling a ton on that, and that was fine. It went both ways. But special teams was the worst game of the season for the special teams. They went back to just being teams today. There was nothing special about the teams outside of our punter can kick the ball far. But the Gunners were not really in a position to make that a weapon as opposed to
the one he kicked far. He kicked too far and outkicked the coverage because they ran to a spot and there was nobody at that spot. The ball was 10 yards farther down the field and it allowed them to get a big return. And I think that set up the touchdown return, the next punt.
But yeah, it was just yuck. A whole lot of yuck
Yeah, you go 3 and out on your first drive. Utah goes right down the field, 94 yards, 16 plays. Like it was, they're a lot like playing an option offense. They're not an option offense, but they put 7, 6 offensive linemen and a jumbo tight end on the field. They use a fullback. Like they're not running option plays, but it's like playing an option offense in a lot of ways. And what you can't do in those situations, Aaron, is let the team get up. You cannot allow that team that's trying to just bludgeon you to death to get separation. I felt good. They come back the second drive. They answer dominant running the ball down the field, 7-7. I'm like, okay, they stabilized. But then 14-7 and 17-7 and 24-7. You let them get too much separation, man. Like you cannot let Utah get separation. They can pin their ears back and get after your quarterback. They can play that kind of sticky man coverage, and you don't have a lot of answers.
The longest possession of this game was actually, if you're not counting the 3:25 at the end there, was 3:12 on the second possession of the game. Everything else was legitimately under 2 minutes. Outside of one possession for 2:28. That's crazy.
Yep. And then, you get down there and you miss the field goal, which would have made it 14-10.
Got the kiss of death from the announcers.
Yeah, the kiss of death. Then you get a stop. And you're right back in the mix to score. Sorsby fumbles. They go down and kick a field goal. Now it's 17-7 and swimming up. And guess what? Surprisingly, they gave themselves a couple chances, even down 17-7, to kind of get back in it. And they squandered those away too. So, it just a crap performance by most everybody involved.
Yeah. He struggled on stopping on third downs, or fourth downs, as they convert 9 of 15 opportunities there.
And most of the misses were at the end.
9 of, when you're looking at 60%.
That's, yeah. Well, at one point in time, it was 8 of 10. They were 8 of 10 on third down and 2 of 2 on fourth down. That means every time they converted. Like every time they needed to get a first down, they got a first down.
Pretty much.
That's not how you beat Utah. Yeah, and look, a couple of them were an inch short. The one I thought was a bad spot, and but that's what happens. That's football. But yeah, you didn't get off the field enough. You didn't convert when you had those opportunities. Look, I thought on the interception, if they go down and score there, okay, like now you're right back in it. You're right back in it. And they go 3 and out and punt, and that was pretty much all she wrote. Pretty much all she wrote.
Doesn't help that you had some injuries in this one too. Losing GameDay about halfway through the third.
Yeah.
His day was done.
It was kind of anticlimactic from there anyway, I guess.
We saw a lot of Dante though today. That was good to see him out there as much as he was. I don't know, man. Where you want to start? I guess.
Let's start with the offense. I thought, there was a hold on third down, but look, guys, like there's going to be some missed calls. There's going to be some bad calls throughout a game. Like I'm not freaking out over the officiating. I thought in general it was pretty good. Yeah, they missed that one. Cincinnati didn't play well enough to win in general.
Thanks for the donation, Hunter. Hunter says the Utes had to win. UC wanted to win. That was the difference. Perfect bye week time. Still control our destiny. Win out, and we're in, baby. Go Cats. Thy loyal children we will be.
I mean, it's not that simple, unfortunately. There's still a they win out and it doesn't land them in the conference championship game. But yeah, I like the optimism. It was house money. We said it was house money. It's just frustrating when you're playing with house money and you look that bad doing it, right?
Yeah. We're going to start on offense here. Thorsby goes 11 of 33, 221, a touchdown, a pick. He also lost a fumble. Rushing, he was 4 of 28 with a touchdown. His long was 22, so that's where the majority of those yards came in scrambling. I don't think he got sacked in this one. I guess you kept him clean.
Did not.
Ish. Yeah. But he was smacked around quite a bit back there. Not a ton of time in the pocket. But you can make the argument this was his worst game. I know we talked about this right before we started. You think Nebraska was still worse than this. It was just he sailed the ball an awful lot on receivers. Again, that was a lot due to just not having any time back in the pocket, I think. But you've got to figure out ways to then dink and dunk instead of trying to take the 15, 20-yard shot that we complained about last year. Now we're seeing it too much.
The problem was, I think their intention was to run a lot of quick game over the middle because Utah brings pressure from the outsides. They get after you. They try to flush you out of the quarter or out of the pocket. I think they really wanted to hit some slants and quick hitters over the middle. You get 2 balls batted down in the first drive.
Mm-hmm.
He throws one into the helmet of DeAndre Buford. I think you had 2 more balls batted down throughout the course of the game. Utah obviously had an inkling that that's what Cincinnati was going to try to do.
Sure.
That they were, and they played good coverage. I think there were a couple times he wanted to hit some of that quick stuff. It's covered, so then he just lofts it down the sideline. I had a problem with the idiot announcer on one thing. The play-by-play guy.
Just one?
It's just one. He's throwing fade routes down the sideline just out of bounds so that his receiver is the only guy that can get to. Do you want him to throw it more inbounds with tight coverage so the defender can make a play on the fucking ball?
I don't know, man.
And he said it over and over and over again, like, he threw that one out of bounds. It was a yard out of bounds where your receiver has a chance to go get it, but the defender can't make a play on the ball. Whatever. Anyhow, he had a bad day, and I think Utah's defense had a lot to do with it. Like, their man coverage was a lot better than I anticipated because I thought they were going to be able to get some of that quick game going and make Utah pay for sending. They sent 5-6 guys. It felt like 60% of the time they blitzed.
Which I guess makes me wonder why you weren't able to find Royer. Really? He had, one catch in this? One catch, 10 yards?
Trying to help block, Aaron.
That wasn't going very well either.
Did they get sacked?
Okay, you didn't get sacked, but you also had quick release going on. So I don't know. I would have thought that you might have been able to find Royer on some of those short dump offs at some point.
I'm sure if he was open, then they had time, they would have. But they didn't have a whole lot of that. Just the way that Utah wants you to play. That's what they want to afford. That's why you can't let them get up early. Yeah, Royer had 3 targets knocked down by D linemen. That they wanted to try to get it to him. It's just a simple fact that Utah did a better job defending that than Cincinnati did executing what they wanted to do to make Utah pay for the way that they play. I thought the coverage was pretty tight on most of that stuff that they tried. And then when the coverage wasn't, when there were, it looked like plays there, the ball got batted down at the line of scrimmage.
Caleb
So
Goody, 10 targets in this game. That's crazy for his 2 catches.
Well, and how different is the game if he goes where he's supposed to go on that corner route wide open and catches that touchdown early?
I mean,
there's field goal, right? They missed the field goal on the next play.
There's probably about 6 plays like that today where how different is this game if you did this?
Yeah, I mean, Utah was clearly the better team, but there were opportunities for Cincinnati to play well and make this a game, put game pressure on Utah. They didn't. They played like crap today.
Yeah.
It was a bad game by Sorsby, Kevin. It's okay. You can say it. He did not have a great game. The receivers did not have a great game.
I think he'd tell you that.
Yeah. It's all right. The Utah defense was really good. Like all of those things, it's not like a Scantron, right? You don't have to pick A, B, or C. Sorsby didn't have a good day. The receivers struggled to get open, and the Utah defense is legit. All 3 of those things were true today.
Yeah, he said Buford got abused at right tackle. I don't know about abused. I did think he was the obvious weakest link on the offense.
He's always obviously the weakest link. Like that, he's. That's not to say he's terrible. I know our guy Marcus on the board loves to shit on DeAndre Buford. If he's that bad, they wouldn't have the type of season that they're having. Like you're not just hiding him and only giving up 2 sacks. If he was that bad, there would be more sacks. Like just part of the nature of the beast. But he didn't have a great game today. On offense, who had a great game today?
Nobody.
Tawi, who only got 7 touches.
I immediately, as soon as I saw Zion Johnson in that first drive, I did not feel good about the rest of the game. Like,
you're not wrong.
And it's not a knock on Zion. It's just you're not the best running back.
He's going to be really good.
Sure.
He's going to be really good. Really good.
Today was not that day.
The
same thing going back to Nebraska is that is not the day that you want to play that game. You play that game against Northwestern State, not against Nebraska, where you're trying to find the hot. You just got too cute with it.
Yeah. Satterfield says Utah's offensive scheme made UC thin on defense, leading to the struggles in tackling. We'll get to defense. We'll get to it. Sorsby needs more credit for our lack of sacks. I think Sorsby gets a ton of credit for the lack of sacks.
Quick release.
He does a good job getting rid of the football.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. I agree, Ty.
Same.
You make a good point, bro. I felt that way all night, buddy. Yeah, I just there was no what have we always talked about, Aaron? Sorsby is a rhythm quarterback. It is a rhythm offense. And because of the way that Utah played, there was never any rhythm. That one of the touchdowns was the 88-yarder. The other touchdown was where they ran it. It felt like the entire drive, ran it right down the field and scored. But other than that, you had the 2 drives where you missed the field goal and then the Sorsby fumble. It didn't feel like they put a lot of pressure on Utah's defense outside of those 4 drives. And you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 drives. And you had 4 good ones. That needed to be 7 or 8 and not 4.
Just to be in the game, not just to win, but just to be in the game.
Yeah, to put game pressure on Utah.
Yeah.
to put this game in a situation where, if you do that, maybe you force them to pass a little bit. That is obviously not Dampier's strength. And then, maybe something happens. But let's go over it, Aaron. Punt, touchdown, field goal miss, fumble, punt, fumble, half, touchdown, punt, fumble.
0 red zone opportunities.
Yeah,
The
didn't get the
whole
red zone
game.
once the entire game. So they've still only missed on 1 red zone opportunity all season. Evan, I think Sorsby was probably mad at everything. Nothing worked. Nothing consistently that they dialed up worked all night.
He was probably mad at himself, mad at his receivers, mad at the play calling, mad at the offensive line, mad at the defense. Utah, you're just mad at everything. It just ends up being a bad game. I will say, didn't love the punt. In the third quarter, the one that he was obviously frustrated about as he came off the field, and he said, "You've got to go for it there." I think we all felt the same way, because punting at that point, you're down 3.5 scores, 4 if you hit all, or I'm sorry, 3 if you hit all 3 extra point or 2-point conversions there. But punting was a strange call to make in that situation.
Are you talking about the one that went for a touchdown?
Or
was it the one before that, or the one after that? Fuck, they punted 4 drives in a row. So
yeah,
the one right at the start of the fourth quarter, is that the one?
I don't know what the score was at that point. Regardless,
yeah,
take any one of those punts, really. I mean,
not wrong. Well, at least that one, if you're talking about the one right at the one going into the start of the fourth quarter, I think that was after the punt return touchdown. They at least had 5 plays, 18 yards. Like they had done a little bit with it then. The 2 punts before that, the long punt, the 59-yard punt that they returned to the 50, 3 and out, and then the one after it that they took to the house, 3 and out for no yards. So it's 38-14 at that point in time. Like, okay, Sorsby gets mad. I didn't like it that they punted. Who cares? Like, it's getting upset about the deck chairs on the Titanic. You're down 38-14 at the start of the fourth quarter, and you punt. Like, yeah, you'd like for your coach to be aggressive. You want your quarterback to be aggressive, but ultimately, it's not changing anything. It's just something. It's fodder for us to be upset about.
I probably wouldn't have liked those deck chairs anyway.
Well, and the other side of it is, what happens if they go for it and they don't get it, and you're just putting them in an even better position to score and make things worse. So
at that point, you're, like I said, you're down 3 scores if you hit all 3 2-point conversions. So
yeah,
who cares?
Not a whole lot of hope there either way. But what else you got on offense? Anything? I do think, I don't like how it happened, but Zion Johnson and Manny Covey are kind of the future of this rushing attack. So It's good to see them both have success in a game like today.
Yeah. Again, you said it earlier, but for those who joined us since we started, 5 carries for Covey for 47 yards, an average of 9.4, and 5 for 35 for an average of 7 for Manny Covey and Zion Johnson, respectively.
And then Covey had a catch for 9 yards, too, for a first down.
Zion Johnson also had a catch for 9 yards.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah. So a good look at those two guys. I agree with some of the sentiment about why not more screens if they're trying to get that upfield on you, really trying to get after Sorsby and make him uncomfortable. Why not punish them with a few more screens. Maybe they didn't feel as confident with it with Evan out. But yeah, I don't really.
I'm still baffled by Tawi getting 7 carries compared to Covey's 5, Zion's 5, Chance Williams 6.
Covey had the fumble at the end. Okay, whatever.
Just weird running back rotation for a game of this magnitude, in my opinion.
And they still ran for 206 yards.
Yeah.
They still ran the ball well. I just didn't understand not running it more with Tawi. That's all.
Especially considering the day he had. Although 41 of those 67 came on his long run of the night.
Sure. Let's see if he can do that maybe a couple more times.
I'm with you. I'm not making the case against it. Certainly not making that case.
It's just a lot of guys to be running out there when you've got a guy that can easily handle a 20 carry workload. Like I don't know. I don't like that okay, so Evan's out, so we have to cycle all these other guys in when we were going to use Evan. No, just use Tawi.
Well, and
that's the part of that I don't like.
We've seen what he can do if he goes one-on-one with somebody in the open field in the second level.
Yeah. And it would be also another thing if you're already down and you're just giving guys carries at the end of the game.
Get that.
But this shit was the first drive where you went 3 and out and tried to get the ball to Zion Johnson twice.
It was certainly a choice.
That perplexed me. And I think Scott's been outstanding all year with how he's used his guys and the sub patterns and working in Noah Jennings and Isaiah Johnson and using the whole wide receiver room and the usage really of Tawi and Evan all the way up to this point. First half today was a little bit of a head scratcher because I would have handed it to Tawi like 7 times on the first 2 drives, and he got 7 touches the whole game.
Yes, that's what happened.
Leaves me a little perplexed. Anything else on offense?
Not without besmirching it's just frustrating. No, let's move on to defense.
Not that that's a whole lot better, Aaron. GameDay had a great game until he came out. He had 12 tackles. I thought Christian Harrison played well. He had 10. Jaquan Sanks with 9. Trey Gullah-Collard with 7. Jonathan Thompson with 6. Antoine Peak with 6. Coleman, Williams, Dingle, Rogers with 4. All of that tells me, Aaron, Utah got to run way too many plays, and they ran the ball 53 times. 84 plays for Utah.
And they also had the ball 40 minutes in this game. So not great. Yeah, defensively, you did get a turnover. As you got the interception. I won't count. You can't credit the defense with the second turnover as you got back your own turnover offensively. But yeah, this team's got to find ways.
I was just going to say that could have been a whole lot worse going into halftime if they don't get that ball back.
But you've got to find a way to turn the ball over. You've got Christian. I mean, that play with Christian Harrison intercepting the ball. Dampier had all day in that pocket. He had all day. I think you only rushed 3 on that one, which allowed the clean pocket, but he made a horrendous decision on that interception.
Yeah. I don't know where he was throwing it. I have no clue what he was trying to accomplish there.
Nope. But I
Um,
think that's what this defense probably missed most of the night, is trying to force him to throw the ball. He had a terrible night in general. 16 of 31, 213, 52% completion percentage. He had 2 touchdowns and the 1 pick. But I didn't see anything from him with his arm. It's the fact that you allowed him to run the ball as well, and not just him, whoever was in the quarterback position, if you will, or I guess
boy, they were in their bag. They were in their bag on that stuff.
Whoever was there receiving the hike, the snap. It was a great day for them running.
Let's run through the chat real quick. Rewarding QBs with a DPI for shitty underthrown balls sucks. You saw what happened a couple times tonight, though, when they got their head around and they actually made a play. There was no pass interference call. When you don't get your head around and you run through the receiver, they are going to throw the flag. They're going to. Uh-oh. Did we lose Aaron? Oh, okay. Am I overreacting to one game if I say it doesn't look like CB play has improved from last year? Yes. I mean, they only threw for 213 yards. 2 of those were on long plays that really wasn't. I think the one was a corner issue. I think the other was a safety. So, and you're coming off a game where they shut down the number 1 passing attack in the country. So CB play has definitely improved from last year. Does that mean it's perfect? No. Is it better than last year? Yeah. Didn't see what happened to GameDay. I think it was head. Potentially a concussion. I'm not a doctor.
Keegan from the booth said it looked like it was concussion.
And at Satterfield said it was a head injury in the post game.
There you go.
So there you go. Got punched in the mouth. Love it. Learn from it. Grow from it. Don't have a choice. Dampier's a hell of a physical runner, but he cannot read or throw downfield. Yeah, that's if you go back to 3 keys on Thursday, that was number 1. You have to get out at least even, if not get up on them early to make him a thrower. If you allow them to just get in their 6 and 7 power formation, 5 offensive linemen, an extra offensive lineman, and a 300-pound tight end, and just allow them to run right at you, you're in trouble. They play good defense, and they can run the football. You cannot let a team that plays good defense and runs the football get up 24-7.
Well,
by missing the field goal, by fumbling, you screwed your chance to win the game.
How many times in that first half did Utah get the first down by a football?
An inch. Yeah.
Or less.
Yeah.
I mean, they were, and you were doing that. I know you only gave up two fourth down completions, but it felt far more than 2. But I think it's probably just from the third downs, because you're leaving them at 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, where you want to be on those third down attempts, as opposed to allowing that defensively, because they gashed you for 3, 4, 6 yards on 1st and 2nd down.
I thought actually 1st down was pretty good. 2nd and 6, 2nd and 12, 2nd and 10, 2nd and 10, 2nd and 10.
But what'd you do after that?
But on 2nd down, they had success.
Right.
2nd and 8, and there was a penalty. Wait, that's Cincinnati. 2nd and 6, 2nd and 4. That was the 2nd and 1. That's not good. But overall, on 1st down, I thought things were pretty solid. 2nd down, they had a lot of success, set up a lot of 3rd and 4 or less. And then we see that teams just aren't going to punt against Cincinnati if they don't absolutely have to.
Well,
if they are in any position to go for it on 4th, they're gonna.
Utah came in to the game. I think they said at least first in conference, if not one of the top teams in the country on third downs, and you over 50%, and you gave them 7 of 15 on third down. So you right around average for them, a little under, but not.
And
not
like
great.
I said, when the game was close, they dominated third and fourth down.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the game, Cincinnati did get off the field more, but by that point it was 31-7, 31-14, 38-14, 45-4. Like, it happens. Yeah, the game's over. It doesn't matter that you got off the field late in the game. What matters is, did you get critical stops when you needed, when the game was close? And the answer is no, you didn't. Not enough of
them. What else defensively you got?
Antoine Peak, the sequel, is an absolute dog. Why do they use him in 50-50 split at star? Because Jaquan Sanks is also really, really good. I don't know what else to tell you. You got two guys that are really good at a position. That's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. You can keep guys fresh. You can rotate. Sanks made a lot of plays. Peak made a lot of plays. Like, both guys are really, really good. Sanks had 9 tackles and a tackle for loss and a pass breakup. Peak had 6 tackles and a pass breakup. They both played really well. It's like when there was some pushback behind the scenes when we talked about Evan Tengestal and Xavier Lozowicki battling in camp and saying that, like, there was a legit, like, competition there because you had two guys that were both playing at a high level. People see it as like an insult, right? Like, oh, well, that guy must stink if he's in a camp battle. No, you watch the Bengals too much. You're allowed to have a position battle where both guys are good, battling for that position.
And that should give you a pretty good feeling about the guard position next season because Tengestal's been playing really well.
Yeah. And Lozowicki was right there with him, battling all the way up to the start of the season.
What I'm saying.
So, yeah, that's a good thing, guys. It's not a bad thing that there's healthy competition at a position. You're right. I said it too, Alex. Missing the kick after posting the graphic of 1,400 days without a missed kick was the only guarantee of the night.
Kiss of death.
Well, the one thing I did notice on that, he's left-footed. He usually likes kicking from the right hash. So he's got that angle on the goalposts.
Yeah.
They have not. I'm sure there have been times he's kicked from the left hash. But from the left hash, he didn't look nearly as comfortable having to use a draw to get that thing inside the goalpost.
If that's the case, then you should know that when you're calling the play on third down, if you do plan on kicking the ball.
Yeah. I think that was a scramble by Sorsby, I think, that put them over on that side.
I'm sure I can find it.
Yeah, I mean, I can find it here in a second. But anyway, it just, it never felt defensively like they were able to control Utah. And some of that is score related, Aaron. Some of it is very much we allowed them to get in their comfort zone. We went over to their house and they just kind of sat in their living room. We didn't make them uncomfortable. We went over to their house to start a fight, and they never really got off the couch. Could they end up playing Peak or Sanks at safety? They're a bit thin there outside of Harrison. I think Xavier Williams has played well. I think Trey Gallagher has played really well. We haven't maybe seen as much at Taden Barnes, although he made a big play last week. I don't think safety has been a major problem. I think they've been okay at safety. I think there's been some tackling issues at safety, but I feel like the position has definitely gotten better as the season has gone on. Just didn't overall have a great day today. I thought the safeties were the culprit of quite a few missed tackles, Aaron.
Right before the field goal, you had first down, Chance rushed to the left.
I need third down. I need third down.
I get that. But Chance rushed to the left for a loss of 1 yard, and then incomplete pass. That's how you got there.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So yeah, I thought he was not exactly in his comfort zone, left foot, left hash. And he kicked it straight. It went straight, missed the goalpost by like that much. Can't happen in that game, though. You're down 14-7. You have got to get those points. You have got to get those points. And then the next possession, you get a stop, and then Sorsby fumbles and gives them 3 as a result. Now it's 17-7. Now they're up 10, and they are exactly where they want to be in the middle of a first half. Just exactly where they want to be. You let them be entirely too comfortable, never got Utah out of their comfort zone. And when they have that lead, Aaron, they are perfectly content. Like I said, it's like guarding a service academy, because they will run 8 straight plays at you over and over and over, and you have to stop them. And they're not gonna get away from it until you do. Bye week couldn't come at a better time. It's fair. I mean, but this is the hard part to I think we all agreed, Aaron, they played their most complete game last week.
Yeah.
And then they played their worst game this week.
Yeah, I think if we're talking, if it was my preference, I would have rather had the bye week before this game. I would have rather had an extra week to prep for a Utah. But
yeah, I don't know what else. I think the problem is the things they prepped didn't work. Sorsby talked about Keegan tweeted something that Sorsby said post game that they played a lot of man. Like they were surprised by that. Utah plays more man coverage than any other P4 team.
The announcers knew it. And if the announcers knew that they run man the entire game with high safety zone coverage, and that's about it, then you certainly should not have been surprised, because the announcers didn't know anything.
I mean, I think they had stuff in to beat it, and I think Utah beat their stuff.
Chess, not checkers. I got you.
Utah was really good at knocking those balls down at the line of scrimmage. Utah was really good at playing press and bothering the wide receiver as they were trying to get into their routes, because that quick stuff was just not there. And we saw them on Tuesday. They worked on it a lot. They were trying purposely get the ball, take a step or two, let the play start to develop, get the ball out quick, try to get 5, 6, 7 yards on first down, on second down. Utah took it away. Kudos to them. Kudos to them. Special teams. I mean, you get the missed field goal. Fletch had 6 punts, a lot of punting, average 46.2. 2 inside the 20, 2 for 50 plus. 1 goes for a touchdown. Unmitigated disaster.
You also had no returns on kickoffs. You had no returns on punts. You had you had the missed field goal. none of that was good. Obviously, I understand not returning the kickoffs for the most part. You only had one that you could really have returned. As far as returning punts, Covey had maybe one that you could have returned. The one that he tried to return probably shouldn't have, but you just saw a punt being returned for a touchdown. Prior, I think there may have been one punt in between that, maybe not. But it's and then you of course you had the shanked punt as well by Max. So not great on special teams. If I was giving a grade to special teams, it's probably somewhere between I don't know, a D- and an F. Nothing. I don't even know that I could give him a D, because I don't know that I would have considered that a passing grade by the special teams.
No, it's funny you said that, Aaron, because sorry, I had to feed the dog. He was going to stand there and bark at my face until I fed him. My brain went to D, and then you made your case for a D- or an F, and I'm like, no, you're right. There wasn't anything.
Nothing redeeming.
There wasn't, even the long punt, the 59-yard punt, they returned to the 50. So there was the one good punt earlier in the game that he boomed, and then they brought the guy down at like the 10, 11. Remember, he had to run all the way back to catch it. The Gunners got him, did a good job. But that one,
early.
But that one had a bunch. Well, that was the first punt, 3-and-out punt. Okay, Fletch did his job.
And then they go 95.
They're starting at the 6, and they go 94 yards for a touchdown. So
you also almost blocked a punt, but almost doesn't really help you out.
Yeah. They saw something there. They came after every punt.
They were going from
they overloaded the left side.
The left side, yeah.
And almost blocked the first one, and really almost blocked the third one.
Well, and Utah noticed that. They started to load that side.
Yeah.
But
they saw something.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen them really try to block
load a side. Yeah, they haven't really
year.
Loaded a side like that at all, and they were definitely in a block formation.
Not even load a side. Like, I haven't seen them really run a punt block much this year.
Mm.
Like, maybe
they got close.
Spoiled. Yeah, they almost got it twice. So but just point being, they clearly saw something in Utah's punt coverage that they thought they could exploit and maybe make a big play.
With as close as they got, that's got to make you feel better for going forward, that they are recognizing patterns, and maybe you get your hand on one. Mean, if Ryan Royer can do it, there's hope for all of us.
Anybody can do it. Oh, you got anything else?
Nope. Just hoping I don't have to sub in for Jeff, who got called in for work at 9 a.m.
Steve, I thought for the most part the defense did a really good job tonight stopping the run, all things considered. Utah only got 5 yards of carry. They just ran it 53 times. If you don't take them out of what they want to do, they will run it at you all night, and they will gain 4 or 5 yards a pop. That's on the offense. That's on the tackling in space that they were objectively bad at tonight.
I would love to know what the yards after initial contact was today, because I think that's where you would find probably the most disgusting stat that you would want to see on their running.
Yeah. Is it unfair of me to blame Aaron for everything? I mean,
no, that's fine.
Josh, I typically do that myself.
Yeah.
So no, it's keep up, carry on, my wayward son.
It's enough out of you, Burkowski.
I think it's Borkowski.
That's what I said.
You said Burr.
Look, man, it's 10 o'clock, or I'm sorry, 10 till 2. My mouth isn't moving in the way that I want it to at this point.
It's actually 10 till 3, but we caught a break tonight. I'm mad about that too, by the way. Like for us, for you and me especially, this is a complete waste of fallback. Complete waste of fallback. It's supposed to be a Saturday night. You have some drinks, and then you go to bed.
You get an extra
and
hour.
You wake up feeling like it's like, oh, I got to get moving. And you're like, oh, I got at least an extra hour. That's what fallback is supposed to be as an adult.
Look, kids don't.
I haven't had a sip of alcohol.
Kids don't get that memo. I am not looking forward to what time the two under.
Oh, I mean, they usually wake up at like 6, right?
Usually about 6:30, somewhere in there.
Yeah, so you got like 3. They are going to think it's 6:30. It's really going to be 5:30.
Super fun.
Yeah, so you got like 3.5 hours. Are you daddy daycare all day tomorrow or
no?
Okay, good.
No.
So you'll at least get to sleep at some point.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good for you. All right, man. I'm kind of out of things to talk about. They played like crap. They lost.
For those of you who like to, just submit yourselves to the scheduling of Bearcat Journal, we'll be doing the BBP tomorrow night at 8 o'clock as your Cincinnati Bearcats men's basketball team tips off on Monday. That all said, we also have the brunch tomorrow, the rare 2-day show. Two show day. There we go. Not a 2-day show. Not ever a 2-day show. Ugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, the brunch will be on at 9 a.m. tomorrow, where I'm sure Dave and Jeff will have plenty more.
Yep. All right. Well, everybody go to bed. We'll see you tomorrow. That's the nightcap. Brought to you by, or that's not the nightcap. It's the aftermath. I looked up at the room. The room got me, Aaron. It's the aftermath. Brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken. Right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya!